Dreamkingz films. We're here with Coach Strong of the First Coast Buccaneers. Hey, Coach, tough 79-74 victory over this Atlantic Coast team. Coach, real quick, give me your thoughts on tonight's game.
It's a tough game. I ain't gonna lie to you, I was a little worried because I knew Atlantic Coast is a very intense team. They play the whole 32 minutes. They have a dynamic scorer in Isaiah, and they've been playing very well. Really felt like we matched up well against them. I felt like they were at a disadvantage because we were so long, we're so athletic. We had some big guards that we was actually able to throw on Isaiah, which gave him trouble. He didn't really hit a whole lot until the end of the game because we kind of backed off defensively. But to the most part, I felt like we played well. We are the team that I think we are. We got to continue to keep getting better. And we really made a difference at the free throw line.
Coach, speaking of the free throw line, James Simmons, he nailed 12 out of 14 free throws, as well as he led all scorers with 29 points. Coach, talk about your playmaking, his production tonight.
I tell you what, and he started off slow because he was trying to put everybody else in the game. He ended up having 4 or 5 early turnovers, and I told him, I said, son, shoot the ball. You at the basket trying to pass to other people. I think he heard me, and at that point in time, he began to take control of the game, both physically and getting to the free throw line, which he made the free throws, and he's one of our better free throw shooters, which will truly help our percentage if he can get to the free throw line more.
Coach Kevin Finley, he had a huge night tonight as well. 18 points, 20 rebounds. Talk about your big man, Coach.
Kevin Finley grew up a lot at the Fortega. The Fortega was huge. He stepped out there against Providence on that Thursday, and I think he saw something in himself by going up against Aaron and having a couple key blocks against that young man, which is truly a true Division I guy. And I think at that point in time, the light bulb went off. He began to grow, and I think it's still spinning right now. And today, it's really starting to show up into the young man that I knew he could be.
Coach Ronnie Blakely, 15 points. Talk about his production.
Ronnie Blakely is my glue guy. He's my glue guy. He's going to do everything. He's going to play defense. He's going to rebound. He's going to pass. He's going to help handle the ball when he has to. And he's definitely a scorer. Ronnie came in the First Coast. All people told me, but that boy can score. And I know he can. But he has become the guy that does everything for us. And he's our glue guy. And we're going to keep going to him. It's a team. First Coast is not an individual base team this year. We are a team, and we're going to get better.
Coach Stanley Ronnie, he had a mental lapse there late in the game. He got a tech after getting fouled. Coach, talk about that play. What happened out there?
Ronnie's a true grit guy, and he was getting beat up the whole game, and then he finally kind of blew his top at the end. He got fouled almost 4 times, got wrapped around his neck before the ref finally made the phone call, and he unloaded, But the fact that he was making free throws and playing hard for me, I had to give him a concession on it, and we worked through it and was able to pull the game out.
Coach Tyree Saunders, he chipped in with 9 points. The majority of them in overtime. Coach, talk about your playmaking, how he came through in the overtime period.
I tell you what, we was waiting all game for it. I mean, he went to the basket all game and didn't really come through the way he felt. He was making some mistakes, so he got down on himself. And I think he was able to pull himself together toward the end because, believe it or not, his nickname is Show. So he's a clutch player, and he's going to always be a clutch player. And believe it or not, when Nassim comes back, I'm not deferring to Tyree. Tyree will still be my primary ball handler.
Coach, talk about sticking with Tyree throughout the game. Like you say, he started out slow, but he stayed with it. Talk about sticking with your playmaker, Coach.
Hey, man, as a coach, you learn to trust people. And after last year, when Tyree went from being a 7th or 8th guy off the bench to starting with that great team I had last year, he built my trust in him. And guess what? He still has my trust, and I'm going to go to the bitter end with that young man.
Coach, Atlantic Coast Stingrays, they got several sharpshooters out there. They was killing y'all tonight from behind the stripe. Coach, how hard it was to defend those guys from behind the stripe?
It's difficult, but believe it or not, if you go look at their actual percentage of how many threes they make per game, you'll find that we actually held them a lot less than they normally make. I felt like our big guys, our bigger guards, really stifled them a little bit, but if you look at their team, they are a 3-point shooting team, which means they're going to throw up 30, 40 3-pointers a game. Today, I think they might have had maybe 20-something attempts. I think we held them probably about 10 to 12 below their normal average.
Coach Isaiah Green, he nailed that 3-pointer to send the game in overtime. Just paint the picture for the fans, Coach, of that moment. What was going through y'all head?
Isaiah's a clutch player. I mean, we were trying to do everything we could to slow him down. We knew we were in a position where a 3 would hurt us, and he made a nice move between 2 people, and before my guys could even get their hand up, he let it go. And when he let it go, guess what? It went in. And such as basketball, he's a clutch player. Big-time players make big-time plays.
Coach, talk about the chess match between you and Coach Ross. There late in the overtime, he kept fouling. Y'all kept trying to seal it. He kept coming back. Talk about that chess match between you and Coach Ross.
Well, the chess match is, the good thing is I play chess on a normal basis. So I was able to kind of match what he had going on. Truthfully, I think we made more mistakes than we should have in the end. I think some balls were thrown that should not have been. I think a couple shots have been taken that couldn't have. So those are things that we're going to continue to work on in practice, is finishing games and more scenarios, because I don't think that we should have made it as close as we did.
Coach, talk about some of those mistakes. Y'all had an 11-point first quarter. Offense got very stagnant there in the second quarter. Talk
Well,
about
what happens is in normal games, when you go up 11, 12 points, at that point, the referee now starts to lean one direction because they want to see a good game, especially with a good team. I felt like their defense stopped us from being able to penetrate the way we want to, but they were pushing and shoving, and we were not making layups. I think our percentages would show that it hurt us more than their actual defense did. And they got rebounds, and they pushed it on us, and guess what? They got out, made three-pointers, and the next thing you know, they back in the game.
Coach, they tried to pull away there in the third quarter. Talk about the Bucs defense and how y'all kept them on the routes for the majority of that third quarter to keep it close.
We're a hard-nosed man-to-man team, and we're going to be in your face. We're going to work hard. We're going to put some body on you, make you feel us and everything. So we knew that with good defense, we could make it a game, especially the way we jumped out on them. I felt like we were in control the whole night. Even when we did lose the lead, it was more so us making some mental mistakes rather than Atlantic Coast doing the things to stop us.
Coach, 61-61 late in the game. James Simmons, he nailed 2 free throws. Talk about that moment, Coach.
Well, the biggest thing was is trying to get over that hump. You know, when we got over that hump, I felt like when we started off the game in the second half, we gave up 6 quick points. And we had a hard time gathering those 6 points back. Those 2 free throws were the last 2 to get those 2 points. And guess what? We pretty much never looked back.
Coach, y'all got the Mandarin Mustangs, the Lee Generals, 2 quality teams here in the city of Jacksonville. Coach, how y'all narrow down the mistakes and keep it going past tonight?
It's about learning. It's about learning. Like I said, I think that Fortega tournament really helped us grow tremendously, and I think we're getting better and better and better. And if you look at our scores, we put up 70-plus points tonight, which now has been our highest performance outside of the reball game. And I think that's what's you're going to start seeing a lot of that from First Coast. We're going to be hovering 70, 75 points a game now, because we're really looking good in the offensive end.
Coach, last question. Like I say, Ronnie Blakely, 18 points, 20 rebounds. James Simmons, 29 points. Coach, how you keep those 2 guys going on this type of pace right here, Coach?
Because we have a wide open offense. Our offense is wide open. Anybody can score because it's a continuity offense. Those guys have learned where to pick their spots and where to get in. And with us playing great defense, we're causing teams to take bad shots. We're getting rebounds. We're running. And our thing is fast break first. And then if we don't have them, we pull out to our offense up, which still goes right into the continuity. And those guys are playing well. I'm starting to go with a small lineup, which means the guards are playing a lot more. And we're playing 4 guards with 1 post in there. And with Kevin doing the things that he's doing, those guys had to stay back in and really monitor him, so those guards had a chance to get off.
Coach, thanks for talking with me. Good luck to y'all future.
No problem.
Appreciate you, Coach.